Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Annalisa and I'm currently deep in the Welsh countryside, visiting and camping at an ancient druidic pilgrimage site it's like 2,000 or 3,000 years, I'm not sure exactly. A beautiful, huge waterfall, which I'll drop some pictures in at some point of that, some video of that. But I've been here a few days with a friend and we've been going on a kind of inner journey. Unintentionally, we just came to chill out, but it's been really profound awakenings and opening and just some real deep insights into ourselves. And today is our last day and I'm going on a kind of pilgrimage on my own today to a seeing lake, a scrying lake out in the valley. And I'm going to document my journey a little bit. We came here actually a few days ago and we walked there in the evening, went to the lake in the evening and walked back in the night in the dark with the stars and the full moon, and I was terrified. There was so much fear that came up, and I had a dream the night before that also I connected with some beings that I found very, very strange and uncomfortable with, and the whole experience brought up all this fear for me. And there's lots of sheep around up here, and so I'm kind of going back. I'm doing a daytime walk, but on my own, and to meet with this lake, which is incredible, an incredible stillness and peace, which I hope I'm going to capture on here and can kind of send forward to you guys. So that's why I'm documenting it, and to share my journey a little bit. Yeah, we'll see. It's Bank Holiday Monday, so it's pretty busy. This is beautiful, beautiful spot. So we'll see what happens. I'm just going to show you some sheep. So I'm just crossing over this stream. This is the stream that comes from the lake down into the valley, and then it goes down all the way down, and it joins up with the stream from the. Where is it? It joins up with the stream from the waterfall, and it's really interesting because it's like the water from the waterfall that's absolutely pounding and churning coming down, and this water is coming from this very, very still lake, and they meet together right where we're camping by our campsite and connect and carry on from the stream. So it's very beautiful merging in these different energies, right here, and we can feel it, we can feel that integration happening. It's very much about an integration process being in this space. So the stones in this land are absolutely encrusted and entwined with this beautiful crystal. I think it's like a quartzy, crystal, and I think it's partly why this land holds so much energy and so much light, because there's so much crystalline energy that's held in the earth here. I don't know if you can see the sparkliness. It's so sparkly. It's absolutely beautiful, and these huge lumps of rock are kind of scattered along the land, but are also obviously embedded underneath as well. One of the questions that my friend Layla and I were meditating on whilst we've been here is how we connect to divinity or to source energy. Where do we feel it? Because I've often felt it kind of hard in a way to connect, and what I realised is that it's because I'm always reaching out to connect. I'm trying to reach to something bigger, higher, grander than me. And what I realised was that I connect to source energy through my heart and through going inside, and that is where my spring is. That is where my water overflows from, is from my heart. And so when I connect to source, I need to focus inside into my heart rather than out. Just approaching this area up here, you can see with the dark, I think it's gorse bushes on the land here, and I had quite an experience walking through these last time, so I'm just going to share my story, but I wanted you to see the shape and the colouring of them as we walk towards them. So I'm walking through this Gorse area now, and again I can feel the change in energy because it's daytime. It's very different. I feel like I can process it a little more easily, but at night we had a very strange experience walking through here. So I'm going to give you like a little very short story. On my first night here, I woke up in the middle of the night. When I checked my clock later, it was about 1:30, and I heard this very loud noise, like a drone. It sounded like a very, very big, large, loud drone approaching just where we were camping. I was on my own in a van in the roof of a camper van, like a tent on top, and I could hear this noise approaching and come right over the top of us. And we're in a very tight, small valley, and I could hear this noise. And to be honest, I was terrified. I wanted to open the tent and look outside, but I was a bit scared. And I could hear some voices. It was a Friday night on a bank holiday, so I think there were local people nearby, and there were voices around. Hiya. Hello. Hi. And so I didn't look outside, but I was feeling into it. I was feeling, is this extraterrestrial? Because I've had that experience before, that where I've seen ships, or I've met with that energy. And to be honest, I wasn't sure. It was very different from what I've been aware of before. It was a very kind of mechanical noise, and I've encountered it on beings on a very spiritual level. So I was like, it sounds just too mechanical. Anyway, I couldn't open the tent, but I scanned the area with my energy field to feel if there were any beings around. And my attention was drawn to a cottage nearby, and I felt a being or two beings there. I couldn't quite tell if it was one or two. There was two kind of, I think it was two. One was kind of sitting, crouching with its back to me, and one was standing outside. And as my focus went to them, I felt their focus shift to me. And their attention, or one of them, their attention came right into the tent. And I could feel it right there with me. And it was very intense looking at me. And I could feel its I could just feel its presence very, very close, and very, it was spooky, to be honest. It really freaked me out. Because it's different from the other energy I felt before. And I kind of bartered with it a little bit and allowed it to look at me a little bit more, and it assured me that it kind of went back, it wasn't going to come closer, and it didn't mean any harm. So I let it go. But one of the beings crouching down was doing something, and I wasn't quite sure what it was doing, and the energy of them felt a little bit insectoid, so they felt quite like insect creatures, like dark black limbs, and kind of shiny black faces or eyes. I couldn't quite see them clearly, but felt that insect kind of presence. And anyway, I calmed down, went back to sleep, and the next day we went on this trip. In the evening, we walked to the lake in the evening and came back in the night. And on the way there, walking through this area of Gorse, we could smell something dead, a dead animal. I've smelt dead animals before, and rats and things at home. It's a lot stronger walking through the bushes, and we assumed it was a sheep or a lamb. There's lots of them around here, and there were lots nearby at the time, so some kind of creature anyway, dead in the bushes. And anyway, we went to the lake, came back, and on the way back, walking through in the darkness, one sheep started following us and was barking at us, but it was like really intense. It was really like angry barring, and it started like chasing us or following us. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it felt like it was pursuing us, and then it ran towards us and then ran past and went up to some other sheep, potentially a protective mother with her lamb nearby, something like that. But there was something about her intensity, her ferocity, that made me feel she was really spooked. And it was right in the area where the dead animal was. And I then remembered that in the daytime we'd been in the woods down near the waterfall, and I had met with a being there which was either elven or druid man with the long hair and robes, and he told me about the creatures I'd seen in the night and said that they don't mean any harm, but they can cause death. And I was like, okay, I'll just like be open to what that means. But for me, there was obviously a lot of fear. All this stuff was bringing up lots of fear, and I remembered that as we were walking through these gorse bushes, and the smell of the dead animal, and this message about the death, and I could suddenly feel these beings again, but I felt them in a very threatening way and scary way. And what I think this is about is it's actually about me and my fear of other and of connecting with other beings. Part of my intention for coming here was to connect with a wider scope of beings, to really open my third eye and crown so I could be more aware of the beings around. And of course, when you kind of open up, you can open up to anything. And I opened up to something that, you know, wasn't deliberately malicious, but triggered a lot of fear in me. And so I was kind of then processing that fear. Luckily I was with a friend who's absolutely comfortable in nature and can feel the light anywhere. So she was really grounding for me and helped me kind of process it all. But it was real, like heart to throat, that feeling of heart to throat kind of activation, opening, I'd say, that was this fear process, which I think I have associated with when I was younger. Some beings I experienced when I was younger, that I actually shut down my crown and my third eye because I was scared, and it was like kind of, okay, come back into that fear energy and go fully into it. I'm very much about going into feelings, whatever they are, sadness or pain or joy or grief, whatever it is. And fear was something that I, in this aspect, hadn't fully allowed myself to go into. So I feel like this was part of the process for me here the last few days, being out at night, connecting with and feeling with a lot of energies and creatures in the land. Beautiful at the stream here, and yeah, having to process and learn through that. So that was a bit longer than I meant to share for, but I think it's really important that even though it was kind of a spooky experience, it's very much part of my growth and expanding who I am, and not being afraid of fear or being afraid to feel different feelings that are uncomfortable in order to grow spiritually, and not that those beings were harmful or, for me anyway, or intending anything, but to be really aware of what I'm connecting with and to practice discernment with not just beings but people, anything, mindsets, thoughts, anything, just to practice that discernment in all areas of my life. So yeah, that's my little story about that. It's pretty muddy, so I'm gonna try and pay attention to where I'm walking. So that's where I came from, and we're now approaching the lake over this way, and you can just start to see it down there, tucked down between the mountains. So I'm at the lake. There's quite a few people here. It's a bank holiday Monday, and I'm not quite sure how long they're going to hang out here, but I'm going to hang out for a while and hope that they disappear, because I want to have some time on my own here. Maybe I'll walk around the edge and explore a little bit. And also, the lady, dry skin. The lady that I was speaking to, who owns the campsite and some of the cafe and things around here, she was saying you can walk out into the middle as well. And last time we paddled on the edge, but we didn't go right into the depth of it, to the middle of it. It's not very deep apparently, but I really want to do that. But I kind of want to do that on my own, so we'll see. Hopefully they'll go. So the people who were here when I arrived have just left, and they're just walking up the mountainside next to the lake now. So I'm just waiting for them to go over the ridge, and then I'm going to walk out into the centre of the lake. It's apparently shallow, that this lady at the campsite, who owns the campsite, told me, and I'm going to just connect with the presence and the feeling of the lake. It's a little bit ripply today. There's a bit of wind on the surface, so it's not quite as still and clear as it was last time I was here. But I'm going to go in and feel what I can about the presence. There is something for me here today, and then I'll share a little bit afterwards what I feel. So I've got this beautiful crystal with me. It's a Farden quartz, and it's absolutely full of rainbows, and I use it for, there we go, you can see them. I use it for connection to spirit and for channeling and for feeling the divine with me. And I've got this one with me, and then I've also got this, which is a piece of black tourmaline, which I use for protection and to absorb any unwanted energies around me. So I've just received the message that I'm going to offer both of these to the lake, as I'm going to hand over my connection and my protection to the divine. It's to represent that I trust that I am fully supported and fully looked after by spirit, and so I'm going to offer these to the lake. This is going to be my gift for her. So I just went out into the lake, and it's not too cold actually, but it's very stony, which is a bit painful, but then it's also very, very slippy. And so the flat stones are really slippy, so I was just like slipping off flat ones onto the spiny ones, so it was really painful. Anyway, I got to a certain point, and I just felt like this is far enough. And then I had the camera fell over at some point as well while I was walking out. So I felt it was okay actually. I felt like I needed to be on my own with the process. So what I did was I just really connected into my heart center, and feeling inside me the messages that I've already received being in this land about being enough as I am, about accepting who I am, accepting my human nature, the feelings, the perceived flaws, everything, just really accepting everything. And that when I can accept all those parts of me, then I can really love myself and really connect with that ability to feel peace and happiness inside, and that I am enough as I am, and that I am connected to source and I am protected. So I felt those things, and I felt like that in order to feel those things fully, I needed to let go of like letting go of the crystals, like sending them in um, was was about me surrendering to spirit and surrendering to the divine. So it was funny because I wasn't, I really like those crystals, but I didn't really feel that attached. But before going in, I was like really wanting to hold on to them very tightly, and I think it was part of that process um, of needing to feel that letting go and that surrendering. And so I did. And when I threw the crystals in, I just had this rush in my heart of just love and peace, and just that opening, the real heart opening feeling. So I can feel the sun coming out as I say that. So it's very, very beautiful. And then I sang a little bit with the lake, and um, and then felt like it was complete and came back. So it's very, very beautiful ceremony. Actually, it was like a ceremony for myself. That's what I came here for, it appears. So I'm going to have a little bit more time here and wander back. I'll record a bit more if anything comes up. But otherwise, I hope you enjoyed this journey with me, and thank you for watching. With a new day's dawn and my heart wide open, I receive all that is. With a new day's dawn and my heart wide open, I receive all that is.